Hey everyone, I'm Bluey, and it's time to blab about Kamen Rider again. Kamen Rider has had very little legal interaction outside of Japan. We've had the two American adaptations, Mask Rider and Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, and a Sega CD game based on Kamen Rider Joe, and that's about it. If anyone outside of Japan wants to experience Kamen Rider, we have to rely on fan subbers for the shows and importers for the toys. But things seem to be looking up for Kamen Rider in the US, along with Toku in general. We have the excellent Ultraman, Garo, and Metal Hero DVD releases from various companies, and now Kamen Rider is getting in on the action with Bluefin brands legally releasing Kamen Rider toys in America. So far, we're getting the CSM Double Driver 1.5 and the SH figure art for 01. And while I'm happy that Kamen Rider is coming to the US in some form, if I be honest with myself, this is a little disappointing. I thought we would get an American DVD or streaming release of one of the Heisei shows before we start getting the toys. I do understand that Bluefin brands and Bandai want to test the waters before going all out to bringing Rider to the US, and Bluefin is primarily a toy company, so I'm cutting them a little slack. But let's say Toei gave a company outside of Japan the right to go all out with Kamen Rider worldwide, and I was the head of this company. How would I handle bringing Kamen Rider worldwide? That's what this video is for, so without further ado, let's talk about my plans for bringing Kamen Rider outside of Japan. The first step of this master plan is to re-release Mask Rider and Kamen Rider Dragon Knight on DVD and streaming. These series is how most audiences outside of Japan have experienced Kamen Rider for the first and maybe only time, so it makes sense to release them first. They also have had no legal ways to watch them in ages, so it would be a big deal to give these shows a legal release again. I know Mask Rider is a bad series, so we won't be judging the sales of that release to determine franchise viability outside of Japan. It'll just be a novelty product for the curious, but since Dragon Knight was more positively received, we'll be judging sales of that one for franchise viability. On a side note, I would like these DVDs to be region-free so Rider fans all over the world, and not just the US, could support the official release and benefit from it. Once the DVDs are out, we'll be taking some notes from Super Rider Productions' Ultra Galaxy Fight and create a 13-episode YouTube miniseries for Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider clips on YouTube get a lot of views, so there's financial viability to introduce the franchise outside of Japan this way. There's many ideas for what this series could be, but to be cheap and self-indulgent, I'm gonna say the miniseries will be Rider Time Kamen Rider Kikai. For those not in the know, during Kamen Rider Gio's run, there were two Rider Time specials produced, one of them being focused on the future Rider Shinobi, and the other being a sequel to Kamen Rider Ryuki. Kikai was one of my favorite parts of Gio, so giving him his own Rider Time special would be a dream come true. The premise of his series of him and his friends constantly on the move from evil robots would fit the miniseries format well. Plus, I think Kikai, in terms of aesthetics and premise, could hook the curious newcomer into the overall Kamen Rider franchise. Assuming everything goes well and both of these projects succeed, we're gonna move on to the final step of the plan: releasing the actual shows on DVD and streaming. I'm not picky on what service Kamen Rider ends up on, but I prefer HBO Max to fulfill a recurring fandom joke of Gaim on HBO. The DVD releases will come out 2 months after the show's streaming release to benefit the streaming service, but I do plan for the DVDs to include the summer and crossover movies of the show like the Ultraman Blu-rays. However, stuff like the V-Cinemas, Hyper Battle videos, and other extra content will get bundled in Kamen Rider Extra Content DVDs rather than the main DVD release. And that's how I would bring Kamen Rider to the global markets. If you have any ways you would bring Kamen Rider worldwide effectively, let me know in those darning comments. Now, if you excuse me, I need to get my basement ready for November 15th because Pokemon Sword and Shield are coming out. Woohoo!